Lucas Pitt from France, 22, and it is his debut in a final of a World Cup. From Switzerland, 31. He shoots 300 meters as well. So if he can shoot that far, hopefully it's going to be a good 50 meter for him today. He has won a silver medal last year at the World Cup. So surely he's expecting some good results today. John Herman Haig lost in the mixed team event, came back, won his second World Cup individual medal yesterday. Both of his medals are from Rio, from here, both are bronze. And when we talked last time, he said he's very excited for the 50 meter. And here he is in the final with great expectations, I would think. The master of 50 meter, 26-year-old from Hungary, István Penny. He's got 25 World Cup medals under his belt. 17 of them are individual, whether it's the 50 meter or the team. Born on Valentine's Day, he's a multiple European champion. Now we always expect a lot from the Hungarian. Christoph Duer, 27 years old, just won a quota at the World Championship in Baku. Surely he's still warmed up from that. That was 4 weeks ago, approximately. He placed 5th there. But I think he was very happy with the quota. Free position, and 6-year-old Yukun Leo. He hasn't won a World Cup individual medal just yet. Today might be the day. Another debuter, 21 and almost the youngest, Edoardo Bonazzi from Italy. First timer at a final as this one. And this is the youngest one. 18, current junior world champion of both 10 meter and 50 meter disciplines, but debuting in his final for a senior World Cup such as this one. Just look at the crowd over here. It's surely going to be an exciting final. Jury member in charge and its assistant juries. And the biggest supporters of all, the coaches that just got in. On the right here is the Chief Range Officer, Mr. Uwe Fuchs from Germany, and on the left, Mr. Oscar Martinez from Venezuela, the announcer. In the stands is the ISSF Secretary General, Mr. Beneville. As the athletes are getting ready to take their position, first going the kneeling position, then the prone, and then everyone's favorite standing position. proven many times that whoever aces the standing find themselves in at least the upper part of the ranking. These were the qualification results. Leo leading with 594, then it's Heg with 592. All the rest are below the 590. It's a 50-meter distance. It's not as easy to shoot the center of the target as the 10-meter. It's the same equipment. The rifle is, of course, a different kind. The airgun disciplines have finished yesterday. All the finals are up on the ISSF official pages of YouTube and Facebook. If you've missed any, that's where you can go and find them. Also, our Instagram, official Instagram page. Many photos over there of the winners and the atmosphere. So definitely go check that out as well. These are the event details for the 50-meter rifle free position. 45 shots divided into 3 series of 5 in the kneeling position, 3 series of 5 in the prone position, then goes 2 series of 5 in the standing position, after which we have elimination of the first 2 places in the World Cup, 7th and the 8th place. And then everything gets super quick and super exciting with 5 single shots. To find out who's at the top of the podium. We can see just a little bit here on these screens as the athletes are trying to find their way into the center of the target. But let's meet them a little bit more up close in their positions already. Chris has a team medal, a silver team medal from Lima 2 years ago. Jan Lokvichler, he has won the World Cup in Jakarta at the beginning of the year. He has a bronze from Bhopal, and in 2017 he won a bronze in New Delhi. He's been in the game for some time now, winning himself a silver medal in the last World Cup final. Still a strong name, still at the top of the world. John Herman Haag. We've seen him getting really happy in the 10-meter event, winning the bronze. But I think he already said he is even more excited for the 50-meter one. 2 individual medals so far for him. This might be the 3rd one. Many things to say about Istvan Penny. Only this year he has won 3 individual silvers in Bhopal, in Lima, in Jakarta, and somehow the gold got away each time this year. Only in Jakarta he managed to get the gold in the mixed team event. I'm sure he'd like one for himself. It's getting really hot here. Maybe it's the nerves from everybody as well. That was Christoph Dewar, the second Swiss athlete in the final. Leo Yukun hasn't won a World Cup individual medal for the 50-meter three position since the World Cup in Munich back in 2017. That was 6 years ago for this 26-year-old. And the debuter for the individual competition, Edoardo Bonazzi, with his coach over here. And last but definitely not the least, I think I mentioned the current junior world champion of both 10 and 20, 25, both 10 and 50-meter disciplines. But this is his first individual final in a senior event as this one in a World Cup. Whew, he's getting hot. Three series in the kneeling position. The men have started with the first shot. Alfred started off good, a 10.5. Now I think that's going to be a 9 on the left. Back into a 10 for the youngster from France. So 2 Frenchmen, 2 from Switzerland, 1 Italian, 1 Hungarian, 1 from Norway, and 1 from China. Athletes from over 40 countries actually have come here in these 5 days to compete in the World Cup in this monumental venue. Leo was the first one to finish. Not the strongest of the round. He landed himself somewhere in the middle of the rank. This is Lockbichler. Currently in the second position, still 1 more shot to go. Finished with a 10.1, not the worst. That's Heg. He's at the bottom of the rank right now. The 2 Frenchmen at the top. Both pretty young. To be fair, Alfred only 18. And look at him. Top of the rank almost. Tied with Lockbichler. A 31-year-old with a lot of experience. Penny. Second series of 5. They have a little over 3 minutes for each series. the least amount of time they get for the prone position, and then the standing is the longest, as you can imagine. Not easiest position. Some would argue that the kneeling one isn't as well. Surely their leg goes a little numb after sitting on it for some time. Good shots from Leo and from Heg. Heg is climbing back up. Usually it's a super tight situation in the beginning, but as we go through the final, things get a little clearer. And the final becomes a little more defined on who is where in the rank. Dewar finished with a 10.9. He had an 8 and 9 over there. Lockbichler finishing with a 10.5. There's an 8 from Bonazzi. Three debuters today. Chris, Bonazzi, and Alfred. If we can even call him a debuter, but he definitely is. Hasn't shot in a World Cup final as this one just yet. And when would he? Only 18. Chris at the top, Heg, Lockbichler right behind. Then the 18-year-old in the 4th place. Last round before the changeover, Dewar starts with a 10.9. What is this man doing? That's gonna get him higher up. There's the shoulder to shoulder with his teammate. Leo also on fire with a 10.8. Dewar, after his perfect shot, went out into a 9. I was questioning if he's going to come back, but he does with a 10.7. Right into the center. Seeing some good shots over here. Chris with a 10.8. Heg too. Now Bonazzi coming in with a 10.9. These guys are really showing us what they've got. And they didn't have an easy day. Elimination, qualification, and now they're here in front of the eyes of the world. A few more shots. Chris, Heg, and Bonazzi. the first two and the last one currently. Let's see if that changes. That finishes with a 9.6. And it's time for changeover. "15 shots have passed. Kneeling position is over. Chris at the top. Then it's Dewar. Side by side with Lockbichler. Obviously these two train together. Haig in the 4th position. And then surprisingly Penny down at the bottom. Bonazzi right there with him. Cheers in the stands. It's what these athletes need. So changing basically everything that is changeable on the rifle. These guys have to work fast and precise. And you want to be done as soon as possible. You want to take the position on the floor, in the prone position. Some of them take off the equipment, the trousers, because it's maybe easier without them. But I think they've accustomed to the time of the changeover, and they just have enough for sighting time as they finish up. Yeah, Penny down at the bottom after kneeling position, but we know that when we come to the standing position, that's where he can really show what he's got, and this is where it usually comes to decisions in the last 2 series of 5 in the standing position, and then, you know it, those last 5 shots that make everything. You can see that they're working fast, but they're not rushing. They're doing it in a precise way, in a shooter's athlete's way, let's say. They don't seem too flushed, but the adrenaline is definitely there, I'm sure. Finding themselves in the position. More or less everybody's gonna have at least 3.5 minutes for sighting shots. For a little last adjustment, maybe adjusting the sights as well. Everybody's right-handed, if you can see that, except for Dewar, who's in position E. So he's turned facing Penny. He's always facing somebody, unless he's on position A. Then he's by himself. Here's Mrs. Rosana Ramos, the ISS event manager. And starting with sighting shots. You can see a little bit of stats from the kneeling position. He's pretty stable, except that one mishap there on the 11th shot. He's fighting himself well. Lockpicklet. Pretty good. Not a surprise he's at the top 2. After the kneeling position. And here's Haig, already with a bronze. From the 10 meter, he can be relaxed, and I think he likes this discipline a little bit more, little birdie told me. Doing pretty good in the kneeling. Expect a little bit more from him in the prone position. Well, to be fair, from everybody. Yeah, Penny was a little under what we would expect from him, under the average of that 10.3 or 4, something you want to have in the 50-meter competitions, but pretty stable. Not too many mishaps, which can save him in the long run. Doer over there. A different kind of approach. Strong 10s. Look at those 5 strong 10s. 2 10.9s, 2 10.8s. And then a couple of those slim 9s you don't want to have. But he's pulling himself up back with those strong 10s. Managed to find himself in the 2nd position, so it might not be so bad. 5th position, Leo. Probably a little more stable than Doer. And Bonazzi, we can see why he's currently in the last position. He's had those 8s as well, and the finals are not very forgiving on things like that. Once again, this is after the kneeling position, and off we go into the prone position, 3 series. We're gonna see some strong 10s from the prone position, I'm sure. Yeah, we missed only the stats of Roman from France, the youngster. Pretty stable, he's at the middle of the rank. But things might change here in the prone position. You can see that they're shooting just a little bit faster than they do in the kneeling position, and that will slow down rapidly in the standing position, as it is the most challenging one. Nice shooting from Haig and Penny. Leo joining them here in the center of the target. Doer as well. Chris coming up with a 10.8 to the top of the rank. They're going fast, they're shooting good. A lot of 10.5s. Might look like the easiest one. But the heart is pumping. Hands are sweating. And the trigger is light. Lockpickler, let's see what he's, a 10.5. What a nice shot we just caught. That went fast, huh? Not many things have changed. They basically all shoot very strong rounds in the prone position. So this is where we're at. Chris at the top door, then Lockpickler. Both of the Swiss athletes are side by side still. And it's Heg, followed by the Frenchman, and still down there at the bottom we have Penny and Bonazzi. Second series. What a start from Leo and Dewar. 10.9 from Lockpickler. I gotta say, we've seen many of these bullseyes today. Looks like the heat isn't getting to the guys as much as it's getting to me over here. French youngster, 10.8. Chris out into a 9. What happened there? Penny shot a strong 9. He's not happy about it. He knows in the prone position he needs more than that. Couple of more shots for most of them. Leo finished with a 10.6. He's still at the middle of the rank. Usually things don't change as much in the prone position. More or less, all of these very experienced professional athletes shoot a very good score in the prone position. Dewar finished with a 10.8. But things tend to change when we come to the standing position. Lockpickler really had an amazing, look at that, group of shots. The 10.3 was his probably the lowest one in the round. So rightfully so. He takes the lead here, followed by Lockpickler. Heg and Chris fell down into the rank to the 5th position. He did have that 9.1, and that got to him here. The two Swiss men at the top, shoulder to shoulder after 25 shots, the exact same score. It's a tight situation between the 5th and the 1st place. Below that, things are a little more clear, especially with Bonazzi at the bottom. Chris up and back with a 10.9. That's Leo, already on his 2nd shot, shooting a 10.5. He's going into the 3rd one. That was a 10.3. He's gonna need more than that if he wants to climb the rank. Others are holding that tight center, 10.5 or above. And this is where you need to be if you want to be in the top 4. And pump up that score before the standing position, because that's the tricky one. Led last to shoot at a 10.7 after already ready for changeover. As you can see, not too many changes after the prone position. Lochbichler at the top, followed by Dewar, 1 point of a difference. Then it's Haig and Leo. Then a bit of a tight situation over there again. Penny's also in the game, but I think it's going to be a little bit harder for Bonazzi to catch these guys up. Now, it's the longest changeover that they get. 9 minutes to come to a standing position. They have to put their stand. Some of them have to take the shooting trousers back on, zip up everything. And as you can see, they're changing sights on the rifle as well. Many stickers. I think I already mentioned in one of the other finals, these stickers tend to say that the rifle is A-OK, went through the equipment control and everything is fine. Of course, these athletes get double checked many times throughout these events. So everything has to be perfect. And the exact measurements have to be respected. Whoever's shooting a rifle knows that. Last adjustments, ideally they would take 5 minutes for sighting time because it's the hardest one to get into. Come into the target, find that center 50 meters away. These are not easy. The buttons on those jackets. But it's such a routine for these athletes. I don't think they have any trouble, but if somebody who's never seen a jacket like this one wants to get in it and close up, It would definitely take some longer time than it does these guys. That's a part of their sport. Part of what they do. Back into the stats, you can see that 9 that cost Chris the top of the rank. Everything else pretty stable. Lockbickler showing why he's at the top of the rank. Look at those shots. Barely went below a 10.3, I'd say. Everything else was a strong, strong 10. I think I already mentioned he does shoot the 300 meter as well. So you can imagine that's 6 times as more of a length than this target. Haig in the 3rd position, a bit more here and there, but he had the strong 10s that got him out of those thin ones. Penny. Yeah, maybe he's not too happy with the prone position, but I'm already seeing his sighting shots in the standing position, and it looks pretty promising. So we'll see what he gives us in the standing position, the 2 series of 5. A little more unstable of a shooting than we see with Penny. It just continues with Dewar. He shoots these strong, strong 10s, and it's almost like he wears himself out, so he shoots a little bit of a slimmer 10 or a 9 and back up into a strong 10 again. You gotta find what works for you, and apparently this works for him. He's in the 2nd position, so it's not bad. Liu. Also, more stability like we see with Penny. More consistency. He doesn't really get out of the 10 circle. And his standing, from what I'm seeing in the sighting shots, is pretty good. Bonacci. Yeah, he couldn't really find himself in the kneeling position. And then the prone position wasn't his strongest one. He's 5 points behind Penny in the last position on the rank. And last but definitely not the least, in the 6th position right now, the double junior world champion, 18, and going strong. I'm not so confident from what I'm seeing in the sights about the standing position, but we're gonna see. It's a different thing when the 5 shot series starts. These are the standings, and off we go into the last part of this competition. After the 2 series of 5, 2 athletes are going to have to leave the finals. So the bottom of the rank is slowly becoming a red zone. Strong start from Liu. All right. I have to say, surprisingly well. All 8 shot a 10. Some are slimmer, some are a bit stronger. But here we go. Heg with an 8, Liu with a 9. An expected mishap here and there. Let's see, Lockpick 9.6 up. Back to Heg. Deep breath. Find the center of the target. Or pull the trigger in the right time. It's easy to say, not as easy to do. Penny showing off his strong suit. He's there around the 10. Maybe not shooting the strongest 10s, but definitely helping himself out. He's climbed up in the rank, and if he keeps going in this way, I think he's going to be climbing up even more. Back into a 10, not the strongest one. We just caught Penny's 8. Which is what you don't want to have. Do her right across from him. Holding the lead, and rightfully so. Just look at that group, all 10s. Oh. Penny hits an 8. Now Dewar hits an 8 as well. Falls down from the top of that rank. Whew, this was a heavy one, huh? Lockpick staying firmly and strongly at the top. 0.4, 0.1, 0.7. You can still see that the differences are not too strong. Even there with Chris and Penny and Heg, it's only 0.1. Really hard to try and say who's going to be the first 2 out. Except for, unfortunately, Bonazzi. He is there 5 points away, and it's just not looking like this is going to be his final today. But other than the May predicted 8th place, the 7th place is still a big, big question mark. We're not going to know until the last shot of this series. 8 from Lockpickler. That's his first shot. After 2 9s in the same spot. He's there in the second place. Let's see, 10.0, still a little bit up. I don't know if he's gonna adjust the sights. No, we didn't get to see. I think that's it. Another strong 9 from the youngster. Penny is there at the bottom. Oh! What's going on with Lockpickler? Looks like the nerves got to him. 3 slim 9s pulled him down in danger zone. He was holding the lead. Yeah, that's what happens in the standing position. Things start to change fast. And who is not up with the standing one is not gonna stay standing in the finals. Looks like Lockpickler is completely falling apart in this round. He was going really, really strong for the whole competition. It's a shame when stuff like this happens. He's not having an easy time. He needs one more shot. But unfortunately, I think he's out of chance. .5, his last shot. That's going to be the strongest one of the 5 in the last series. Oh, that must have been painful. The 8th place, we expected. It's been going on throughout the finals. Edoardo Bonazzi, the Italian. It was his debut. It's his first time. And he tried his best, but Jan Lockpickler, oh, come on. Going strong, whole final, every series holding it. And look at that, from the top of the rank down to the 7th place. Not an easy day for him, but what can you do? That's how it goes in the 50-meter 3 position. Everything can come crashing down in the standing one. It's time for single shots. After each one, a place is decided. Chris had an 8 in the last round, if I'm not mistaken. Should say 10.5 now. Maybe saves himself. Let's see. No. No, that's not gonna happen, unfortunately. Lucas Chris, 6th place, out with a bang with a 10.5. He managed to save for 1 single shot. Penny climbed up to a 3rd place. It's Leo Heck, Penny, and then the youngster, Alfred, And Dewar, currently at the 5th place. He placed 5th at the World Championship, but he got himself a quota there. Surely he was super pleased with the 5th place. But I suppose he would like to go a little higher today. Not a big difference, 0.4 between him and the youngster. Yeah, there they are. And Alfred just shot a 9.4, giving Dewar a chance. He needs a 9.9 to stay. He shoots a 10.3. Stays in the game. The current junior world champion of 10 meter and 50 meter, debuting his senior World Cup final, goes out, winning the 5th place. Not bad. It is the senior competition. Here we are, Leo Haag, Penny Dewar. The differences are what they are, but things can still change. Dewar and Penny, 0.7 of difference. This is a shot for the podium. From Leo. Haag shoots an 8.3, Penny with a 7.8. What is going on? Dewar last to shoot, shoots an 8.5. This was a nerve-wracking situation, and is just gonna continue on as we have a shoot-off between Dewar and Penny. Isn't that interesting? Who would have thought? Penny shoots a 7.8, Dewar shoots an 8.5. Looks like they all really want to be on the podium today, and it's showing on the nerves, on the trigger pull, on the heartbeat. It's just what happens. Shoot off time. Penny shoots a 10.2. Can Dewar go above? 9.9. Almost, almost. And they were facing each other throughout the whole final, only to come and find themselves in a duel, let's say, in a shoot-off where Christoph Dewar has to take the 4th place and give away a place on the podium by a 0.3 of a difference. Absolutely nerve-wracking what these men have done today in the finals. Time for the bronze medal. It's gonna be between Haag and Penny, unless something really serious mistake comes from Leo. Other than that, Haag comes in with a 10.7. He's not giving away his spot. No way. 8.8 from Penny. He shot a good shot when it was really important. He gave it all with that 10.2 to find himself on the podium. going out with a bronze medal, his 26th World Cup medal today. All of his World Cups so far this year were silvers. This is his first bronze. Gotta say, this difference is just a little off, too big. 2.5. But we've seen 8s happening, 7s happening even in this final. So you never know. 10.1. That's gonna be it for this final. Chief Range Officer calls it. Results are final. Liu Yukun from China, 26th. He hasn't won a World Cup medal for 6 years, but now he's at the top of the podium. John Herman Hegg, bronze medal at the 10-meter, silver in the 50-meter competition. It's going to be a great memory for him, and this World Cup, I am absolutely sure. Once again, Penny with the bronze, Hegg with the silver, and Liu from China with the gold. Thank you everyone for watching. Stay with us though. We're gonna have a chat with the athletes when we catch them. But first, of course, it's time for some picture time.